Kozlovskyi Oleh Valeriiovych. I'm an internally displaced person from Donetsk region. My family and I have moved to Chernivtsi in July 2014 and since then have been residing specifically in Chernivtsi. Why did we move here? By the way, prior to war we have never been in this region, in this city. We had no relatives here, there was no friend or anybody would know. But it happened so that we were looking for a place, for a higher education institution for our son to transfer to. Because he had been studying in Donetsk State University and now studies in Chernivtsi. And it happened so that we were provided with the contact of people working in the local university. We called, they invited us, even more than that, said, please come. We have been residing here ever since. My wife got a job at the local gymnasium. She teaches French language and she has her own class. Our son, as I already said, studies full-time at the university, and I'm self-employed and travel around Ukraine conducting different informal education events, seminars, trainings. I can speak for myself, for my family, for the people I know. Psychologically, there have been feelings as a part of the community for a while now. Certainly we have been discriminated against sometimes, but at the very least we do not have voting rights at the local elections. But psychologically we feel the Chernivtsi people to be ours. And I often hear such feedback from them. For some time now you have been not just temporary guests, but local people. Despite the fact that we do not have a local permanent registration. From day one, even before we moved, we called and people from the university started helping us already by phone. They invited us and assisted in the process of relocation. And there have been many instances when total strangers morally or physically help us to settle in one way or another. Obviously, there was less such aid from the state. But we are rather self-sufficient people and we understood that there is ongoing war the country requests much effort due to the war in the east, and that is why we did not really on it. I know a lot of people who unfortunately for one reason or another were forced to stay there and do not have an opportunity to move to Ukraine-controlled territory. But they still try to survive there because there is a terrible atmosphere, the atmosphere of 1937. And obviously there a person cannot feel free, especially not someone who is used to value opinion of her own, as well as those of others. And that is why threats started coming even back then. It is one of the reasons of our relocation. Afterwards, I would take an open public pro-Ukrainian position and moreover have been working as an advisor of the Minister of Social Policy for some time. So unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, personally for me, there is absolutely no way back there while the strangers are there. If the prognosis is that all of this will be over and Ukraine and Ukrainian jurisdiction will return there, I will certainly go there, will visit. But it is difficult to say at this point whether I will go there temporarily or for good. We feel here rather at ease, because this is also our land, just like any other region of Ukraine, including Crimea. At some point back in the early days when we moved, one of the teachers at the university told me that we are actually not refugees, because it is the same Ukraine here as it is out there. And we have an opportunity to live where we believe it to be best.